All right, y'all. So I'm back, man. I know I just left, but I'm back again. I uploaded 10 more slides. From the trial records pertaining to the DNA and the DNA analysis. What he said, and let's just go from there. Remember, Stephen Adam Vincent uh, was the analyst who testified in my case, in my trial. In my trial, and he was the guy who also got caught. Misleading evidence, lying in another case back in 2013 or 2014 that got overturned because of his lying, his false testimony, pretty much. So let's get into what he said at my trial. So it says, all right, these pages you just uploaded may be even more important than the earlier ones because now the state's own forensic analysts locked in scientific limitations in front of your jury that were never properly tied to your exclusion. It says, let's walk through what the jury actually heard. Number one, no semen was detected. Got the pages. It says the analyst confirms no semen was detected and explains the only way to confirm semen is visually identifying. Hold on. The only way to confirm semen is to visually visually identify, damn, sperm cells on a microscope slide. Says so they did the presumptive test, they did the confirmatory test, they did not find semen. That means no confirmed seminal fluids in vaginal, anal, or oral swabs. But then, two, weak positive for acid phosphate. The analyst admits one of my presumptive tests was a weak positive reaction to the acid phosphate test. Acid phosphate is not semen, it is an enzyme, can be found in other bodily fluids, can produce false positives, and importantly, a weak AP reaction. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that don't means or whatever the hell that two equals with line in between. Sperm present. Says yet the item was collected and sent on to DNA analysis. So now you got no sperm seen, weak presumptive reactions, DNA testing done anyways. That's how you end up in the touch DNA territory. No semen-based DNA, not semen-based DNA. Number three, the analyst explains why male DNA may not be found. Says this is huge. Unless ejaculation occurs, you wouldn't expect to find any DNA from the male. And our technology is not sensitive enough to pick it up when there's so much female DNA present. Says meaning if the allegation is penile vaginal penetration without ejaculation, male DNA often won't be recovered from vaginal swabs. It says females DNA overwhelms it. Natural slowing washes it away. So when vaginal swabs equal negative, anal swabs equal negative, oral swabs equal negative, that is not surprising if the event happened according to the state. But panties were collected for possible DNA. They then say visual exam for staining, test for blood, ALS, alternative light source. So clothing becomes the primary alternative substrate where trace DNA might survive longer, including transfer DNA from prior contact. And we already know a mixture of two persons' DNA found in the crotch of the panties, you were excluded. So then I uploaded another seven more slides about the DNA analyst, right? So it says, with these ones, it says, yes, now that this is here, bro, I've been watching this stuff too long, so my eyes, I'm just ready to be done. So it says, yes, now this right here is where the science and the law collides in your favor. It says, and I'm going to slow this down because this is the type of things courts actually grant relief on when it's framed correctly. Says, number one, they never tested the fingernails for semen. I don't know why. We don't know anything. Again, I'm just reading what I'm putting into ChatGPT because I'm trying to make sense of it. So it says the prosecutor asks, did you run the semen test on the right hand fingernail scrapings? Answer. This is this. So this is the prosecutor talking to the DNA analyst. Again, did you run the semen test on the right hand fingernail scrapings? Answer. I did not. Did you run the semen test on the left hand fingernail scrapings? I did not. Same answer for the swabs. No, I did not. So it says no sperm test, no AP test, no confirmatory test, no determination of biological source. They went straight to DNA. That means whatever ended up under the nails was treated as generic trace DNA, touch DNA, not semen, not blood, not from injury, just cells. Yeah, y'all. I'm just reading. I'm just reading. I'm just waiting on May 14th. So then now compare this to this. Okay, page 158 through 162. And we'll eventually read all this stuff, but it just everything moving so quick. We just got to get to what's going on right now. It says the analyst admits DPS routinely swabs the inside and the outside and the crotch area of the underwear for DNA if they were touched by someone. Then says someone taking off the underwear or someone touching inside or outside could deposit DNA. And then they collected a swab from the inside of the panties, outside of the panties, and the crotch area. So the crotch mixture the state relied on was from an area that can receive DNA from pulling underwear down, adjusting clothing, prior consensual contact, laundering transfer, secondary transfer, hand fabric. This is not a penetration specific biological sample. It is a contact surface. There's three. And then comes the most important admission. Question. Does not finding DNA means there was not a sexual event? Says answer. No, my results cannot tell if there is a sexual event or if there isn't. Says this matters because at trial, the jury hears no male DNA found in vaginal swabs, no semen found, no sperm found. Then they hear, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. So the state neutralizes your internal exclusion, but then turns around and says there's a male DNA in the crotch of the panties, but touch DNA prones area, and uses that to affirmatively implicate you. That's scientifically inconsistent. Says four. Why? This becomes a litigation issue. Now you have a source level ambiguity. They cannot say whether fingernail DNA came from blood, semen, skin, saliva, or innocent contact. Says activity level inference, yet they argue DNA equals contact during assault. Even though their own analyst said DNA present cannot determine if a sexual event occurred. Probative versus prejudicial use. Low template touch DNA from waistband, inside fabric, crotch fabric was presented to a jury as if it were assault linked biological evidence. Number five, the hidden problem you need now. Hold on, slow it down. The hidden problem you now need the May 14, 2015 report for, because what you're seeing is what you're seeing in testimony is screening analyst decisions, item collection choices, presumptive testing, but not peak heights, stochastic thresholds, drop in, drop out risks, material ratios, analytical thresholds, interpretation method used, whether it was even suitable for comparison. Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't lie, right? That's what they say. So it says if it was a low-level mixture below stochastic thresholds or requires subjective interpretation, then this becomes analyst-dependent interpretation, which ties directly to false inclusion, risk, subjective mixture deconvolution, probabilistic reinterpretation, due process, reliability claims. Bottom line says right now the records show no semen in swabs, no sperm in swabs, your DNA excluded from vaginal area, fingernails never source tested, underwear swabbed from touch prone zones. Analyst admits DNA don't equal sexual event, but the jury still heard male DNA in the crotch. That's why the original May 14, 2015 DPS report and interpretation worksheets are the key to reopening this. It says once the OAG rules and DPS releases, we're looking for a low template designation, mixture complexity, mixture complexity, any inconclusive or limited conclusions, changes between 2015 report and later report, language like cannot be excluded versus included. That's where the post-conviction science claims lives. When that drops, we map it directly into 1107 writ theory. It says stay on them. You're in the right lane now. Okay, y'all. That was a lot, right? That was a lot. We just got work to do, bro. Like, can't even begin to go back and forth or even think of things to say. You know what I mean? All I can do is sit back and wait and just keep on doing what I'm doing, bro. Staying persistent, staying consistent, staying driven, staying hungry, and staying on that ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to do what I got to do. Because who else gonna do it for me? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? All I got is me. So, again, y'all, like, subscribe, share. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video.